Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Elvira Rosa Amelia. My student number is 8320200134 and I'm from Sega Group 13. Role speakers, POI, timing, educator, and assessment in British debating system. British parliamentary or PP has two sides to a motion, deferment and opposition. It's with a front half and a back half team. In total, there will be 8 debaters in the room at once. The first, each speech is 6 or 8 minutes. 2 BP rounds take a long time to finish. 3. Your objective is to beat the top ranked team in the room. And 4. Front half teams need to stay relevant by having the most important arguments and asking turns to POIs. The members in BP debate and their shortcuts. The first opening deferment or OG. Number 1, Prime Minister or PM. Number 2, Deputy Prime Minister or DPM. Second, opening opposition OO. Number 1, Leader of the Opposition LO. Number 2, Deputy Leader of the Opposition DLO. Number 3, Closing Deferment CO. Number 1, Member of Deferment, also called the Shadow Minister or Extension Speaker. Number 2, Deferment Whip O. And the last, Closing Opposition CO. Number 1, Member of Opposition, also called the Shadow Minister or Extension Speaker. Number 2, Opposition Whip. In BP debate, 4 teams will present their case. There are the opening and closing teams from the government and opposition side. Government must propose the motion as stated. Opposition can choose how to negate the topic. Role speakers refers to the unique roles that each speaker in the round has. These roles are a minimum standard required for the teams to do well in the debate. Opening GOV. Prime Minister define the debate, explain details of motion, provide argumentation. Deputy Prime Minister clarify definition or stance if needed, provide responses and argumentation. Opening OPP, Leader of Opposition, set a closing point with the government, provide responses and argumentation. Deputy Leader of Opposition, clarify clashing point if needed, provide responses and argumentation. Closing GOV and OPP. Member of Government on Opposition provide mapping of the debate, explain distinct stance or approach, provide extension. Government and Opposition Whip. Summarize the debate, provide responses, clarify member speakers' extension. Role speakers in British parliamentary style debate. Prime Minister, the first speaker for opening deferment. Role speaker defines and interprets the motion, develops the case for the deferment. Leader of opposition, first speaker for opening opposition. Role speaker accepts the definition of the motion, refutes the case of the first deferment, constructs one or more arguments against the Prime Minister interpretation of the motion. Speaker, Deputy Prime Minister, second speaker for opening deferment. Role speaker refutes the case of the first opposition, rebuts the case of the first deferment, may add new arguments, the case of the first deferment. Deputy Leader of Opposition, second Speaker for first opposition. Continuous refutation of case of first deferment, rebutts arguments of the first opposition, may add new arguments to the case of the first opposition. Member of deferment, first speaker for closing deferment. Defends the general direction and case of the first deferment. Continuous refutation of first opposition theme, develops a new argument that is different from but consistent with the case of the first deferment. Member of opposition, first speaker for closing opposition, defends the general direction taken by the first opposition, continues general refutation of first deferment case, provides more specific refutation of second opposition, and provides new opposition arguments. Chairman with second speaker for closing. Summarize the entire debate from the point of view of the chairman, defending the general viewpoint of both chairman teams with a special eye toward the case of the second chairman, does not provide new arguments. Opposition whip, second speaker for closing. Summarize the entire debate from the point of view of the opposition, defending the general viewpoint of both opposition teams with a special eye toward the case of the second opposition, and does not provide new arguments. POI in British debating system. POI in British debating system, a point of information, is when a speaker on the opposite side of the table offers a short contribution to speech, normally consisting of a question or comment of around 15 seconds duration. Sometimes it is asked for a general clarification, but oftentimes debaters ask their opponent POIs to undermine their argument. POI in British debating system. During the middle 5 minutes of a speech, any participant across the table may request a point of information or POI. The speaker chose to accept or reject any POI request. Every speaker should accept at least one POI, and it's a good idea for a team to accept around 3 in total. Timing an educator in British debating system. Timing each round of debate focus on a different motion or topic. The motion is discussed 15 minutes prior to the beginning of the first speech. Educator is someone that have already passed the judge exam in a term of debate. The educator determines which of the teams has performed better in debate. Assessment in British debating system. After the conclusion of all speeches, their chair asks all participants to leave the room. The chair and panelists, other judges select to judge a given debate, then spend a few minutes deciding the debate. Assessment in British debating system. The educators' assembly must reach agreement on the value assigned to each team. Then each educator will score each team individually according to the agreed rating scale. Nilai A 180 to 200, excellent to flawless. Nilai B 160 to 179, above average to very good. Nilai C 140 140 to 159 average. D. 120 to 139 poor to below average. E. 100 to 119 very poor. That's enough from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.